feeling glad I got
Kool-Aid.
In a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine.
Kool-Aid.
In a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming on.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing because I'm counting no eggs. Now, I couldn't be there. Now,
You shouldn't be scared. We're good at film. So, yeah, I just want to say I got some bad news for the detractors. Oh, my God, we got to get them off. We got to censor them. Censor them. Number one, we're expanding. Number one, we ain't going away. There's a old saying on this planet. It looks like we're stuck with each other. But the thing is, Colby, we are the future. These media liars, essentially, these Kool-Aid drinkers who cheer on bad play, and you did a great job with DJ Jones, and they all hate him. And you can see the guy can play. Absolutely hate on him, for sure. Too much of that, but there's a guy in the media that says, he talks about being all objective, and he's saying something about the being there at the Super Bowl. By the time this organization is the Colorado Avalanche, their version of it, it's going to be a different team. There ain't going to be no Elway lurking around. None of these players are going to be here. I just hate to tell you that, because this team really needs to be revamped, starting at the front office, where they spend more time worrying about us and less time just getting players that can actually play. I find it just really, 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 really strange that, we're showing, and everybody else around the league, so those of you that trying to say everybody else around the league doesn't like what we're doing, that is 100% false. We get nothing but finally an objective Broncos channel. By the time the Denver Broncos, like I said, there won't be any, John Elway meddling, no PR machine. They'll actually get players. The ownership will finally get a clue about how to actually put a team together by that time. But the future is coming on. We are the future, because what's going on is not sustainable. I mean, what I find just really, really bizarre is that we show film, everybody around the league sees this film, and there's just nothing new, really, for the rest of the league, because Justin Simmons constantly gets picked on, and it's going to happen this season too. You can count on that. They wheel Justin Simmons out, put him on the huddle, or what we call the bubble, where everybody just says the same thing in a vacuum. And then you have other media people calling themselves objective. I find that amusing, because I worked in media on Jets, Giants, and the Buffalo Bills. And I can guarantee you a lot of people were saying things that never made the airway. Because if you actually if there's a show called Ted Lasso. And in that show, they have the media guy who sounds like us. And he's there, actually asking tough questions. I don't see the guy that invites Justin Simmons, that's got the invite, saying, "Hey, Justin, why don't you come on the air? We'll talk about how you sucked last year and why Russell Wilson's picking on you at OTAs." You know, you don't get, you know, it's nicey nice and, you know, let me stroke you and so you can talk about your accolades. Well, your own peers, Justin, didn't vote you into the Pro Bowl. There's a reason for that. So this team, and it's Kool-Aid drinking cult following, is gonna just, it's gonna play itself out. It has to. It has no choice because it's not sustainable. You can't sit there. I know Justin Simmons is a darling of the sports writers. You know who? I just want to ask you, who was talking about Jesse Bates 2 years ago? Just who was talking about that in Broncos country? Colby? Correct. Now, I got to listen to how much we don't know, okay? You have PFF, the all-knowing, the all-seeing, these sports writers, right? Right now, they're singing the praises. Where were you guys 2 years ago? When in 101, when I put out the Broncos need to let Simmons walk and bring in Bates. The Cincinnati Bengals at that time had not put him on the no walk list there. Can't touch him. That was before that. But when I came out and said we got to get this guy, they tagged him. They tagged him. After. That was after I said. Now they can't. They're singing the praises like he's the best thing. Where were you? You guys that know so much. They put Justin Simmons at number 5 and have no explanation as to why. When you go and look at what makes safeties top rank, it has to do. Let me just read. This isn't me. This is what sports writers, the same sports writers who seem to love Justin Simmons. Oddly enough, he can't get love from his peers. But this is about safeties. But coverage is king in the NFL. Coverage is king in the NFL. Number one, I mean, we got nothing but footage of this. I call Justin Simmons nowhere man, living in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. You know, he's like a cow out in the pasture just grazing. Oh, here comes the football my way. Late to the party. You go and look at Russell Wilson's picking on him on the regular. You know, it doesn't really matter what we say, Colby. It doesn't matter what the people who love Justin Simmons, who just want to, as always, overhype the Broncos. This is not sustainable. And just like every year where these Kool-Aid drinkers swear and the media says the Broncos are 17-0 every offseason, we're going to be facing Justin Simmons getting picked on, that side of the field getting picked on. If you look at the stats, he's got more breakups because they pick on his side of the field, and it's not even that much. He has like nothing. The film shows that he's getting picked on. You know, it's just, like I said, it's going to happen. We're the future. And when this thing finally, manifests itself like it does every year, the line's being completely ignored. Middle of the field is not locked down by that's crack, people smoking meth or something. This team's going to get picked on in the middle. It's going to happen. It's just, unless the NFL is so rigged, and they told don't, we got to make sure that I'm trying not to believe that so many people's jobs are on the line that it's kind of tough to do that. That it's just all going to manifest itself. So it says here, but coverage is king in the NFL. So it's difficult to crack the top 10 if one can't consistently produce in their specific team's coverage scheme. Well, yeah, they got Simmons playing slot. They got getting beat by tight ends. Even, what was it, the Philadelphia game you showed where he was there? They just had a mediocre, and he had no problem, catching passes and running circles around Simmons. Oh, my God. Yes, people come to this channel from around the league saying least you people are honest. That's just the way it is. So anyway, yeah, they put him in where he gets burned there. I've yet to see him help over the top. I'm looking. Somebody produced a Justin Simmons film that lasted 20 seconds. What? So one media outfit said we showed film. 20 seconds. Because that's all they can't. They can't show you all this. They don't want you to see this. But you know what? It doesn't matter that we're doing this film because the rest of the NFL watches film. They know who to pick on. Justin Simmons, and I mean, this is. I'm just gotta say this. I wouldn't even be talking this much about Justin Simmons. I wouldn't. But he's such a liability. They can't leave the subject alone. So that gets us having to talk about him. I mean, let's just boil it. Let me bottom line this for you. You toxic fans, the rest of the NFL can join in on this. Sooner or later, Broncos country is going to have to stop excuse making for bad players. Stop paying Justin Simmons, Metalik Watson's, this culture's got to go. Stop saying top 5 when, you've been cellar dwelling. And you've really not addressed anything. Greatery, that's gonna help you. We're trying to get ahead of this because I said we're the future. We know where this is going. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. God damn, 2 guys doing a podcast, and you'd think that Dove Valley, of course, they got new ownership, and this is where I disagree with you, Colby. They have to sell this turd. They got to shine it up, polish it up, because this is a Hail Mary by the guy upstairs that doesn't exist, that we got video of, with the largest office at Dove Valley. What's up, boss? Well, I'm supposed to ignore that. It's just, like I said before, this team turns into the Avalanche. There's 2 separate, it's like Journey, worlds apart. They are worlds apart. And I'm just, I'm getting ahead. We're getting ahead of it. It's going to be a revamp, because you can't just hire the press, 8 channels saying garbage out there. Oh, we're objective. Oh, yeah. Listen, I worked Jets, Giants, Buffalo Bills. This is on a level I've never seen before. And you say I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. You are right. You do get paid to say this stuff. Me and Colby we have our own income. And if you want to be objective, you can't be connected to the team. That's a lesson in Journalism 101. We can't be looking for press passes, interviews. We have to be objective, cold, objective. And quite frankly, yeah, everybody's putting their spin on. I get it. But like I said, I hadn't seen anything like this. Ever. As a journalist. Ever. This is just taking on a whole new life. And I think, and this is where I disagree with you, Colby, I think this is where it's taken on a life unlike before. You even said that yourself, Colby. I believe it's because John Elway has to be accountable for paying Justin Simmons. He's got to be accountable for paying. Oh, you're going to pay Draymond Jones? You're going to pay Draymond Jones. We're going to go down this road? How about we just get players that can play? How about that? Don't worry about what anybody says. Just get players that can play. Old school, Pat Bowlen days. I just, it boggles my mind. It just boggles my mind, the bullshit that, it just has to play itself out. It has to play itself out. And then we can get back to maybe being what we used to be. Stop the Kool-Aid. Knock it off. Don't blame Russell Wilson. This is long before he ever came along, the problems. that are going to manifest themselves like they always do. That you didn't address. Gregory? Okay. See how that works out for you. Special teams, what about that? Oh, new coach. Okay. This defense that OTAs look like they're just exactly what I said before OTAs. A defense begging to be thrown on. Russell Wilson is torching it up. And, God, who's always in the video? Late to the party. Who? Every single time. Justin Simmons. You can't even make it up. And then, oh, another Justin Simmons. Yeah, he's a liability. That's why you people are, you objective people, are getting those little messages from the Valley. But you know what? I'm glad, because he's going to be under a microscope. Again, his peers snubbed him for a reason. And we show it on film. And they watch film all the time. So it's coming. It's going to happen again. It's coming. So anyway, there's my little 16-minute and 37-second rant.
Well, that was a very interesting rant, and there's a lot I took away from that rant. Number one, your body language shows it all. Your body language and the way you conducted yourself shows why we're over this shit, especially me, because these 8 other channels out there, they like to say they're objective and do film, but yet every time I put out a film on a Justin Simmons or a Champ Bailey and a Patrick Surtain, I have to hear from a certain online channel, is Justin Simmons the best in the AFC West?
Okay,
so you're talking about how he neutralizes the middle of the field, how he covers slot receivers, tight ends, how he helps over the top. Why does the film say differently? Because, I just cherry-picked plays. I cherry-picked plays, okay? Apparently to those people, I cherry-pick plays.
Can I stop you just a second? How does one call showing a whole offensive series of the other team and then another offensive series and another offensive series of another team become cherry-picking? It's just a question, not just myself, but other people around the league who say you guys are doing great stuff. We all want to know. Go ahead.
No, you hit the nail on the head. You understand why I hate this team so much right now? I hate it. I hate it. We have fans that say, well, we live too much in the past under the Pat Bowlen regime. Okay, hold on, time out. That regime worked. That regime won us Super Bowls more than losing seasons. That had us in consistent contention for the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Do you guys understand, with players like Justin Simmons, Draymond Jones, Garrett Bowles, Melvin Gordon, just name a few.
Gregory, I'll just throw him in already.
Hot Tub Time Machine, he's already proven it, which I predicted. Why is it that those players that suck on the titty of John Elway, guys like DJ Jones, Quentin Miners, Noah Fant, Bradley Chubb, Ronald Darby, those players that
Jackson.
Kareem Jackson. Why is it that those players get shit out of town for the players that suck?
Well, they get shit on by Kool-Aid drinkers.
The players that I have consistently showed film on have sucked to high heaven. It's not even close. Draymond Jones sucks. Justin Simmons sucks. Okay, they fucking suck. They suck.
Yeah, you didn't get a vote at the Pro Bowl for a reason.
Well,
I
sent you links when they paid Justin Simmons 4 years, $61 million goddamn dollars when he didn't do jack shit. I'll let you take the reins on it. there is a line of, you want to bring up stats, Wanu. You want to bring up your typical fucking lying bullshit. The other platforms. I want you guys to listen to what this man has to say when they paid him 4 years, $61 million with 32 to 35 million guaranteed money for doing nothing, when you could have paid Jesse Bates, Amika Fitzpatrick, that same exact type of money that players that are obviously better, even a Derwin James is better than James. And I have to hear from the other 8 platforms right when I do those film reviews back to back, have to beg Justin Simmons to come on their platforms and tell me that I have all these accolades. Justin Simmons, you are a good person off the field. There's no doubt in my mind that you are a nice man off the field. But my God, I'm calling out Locked On Broncos. I don't give a shit. I'm going to say it. You guys are not the most objective Bronco channel out there. You guys are so full of fucking shit. So full of shit that you're going to sit there and tell me that Justin Simmons is 10 times better and 10 times the better player than Mika Fitzpatrick is? Oh my fucking God. I want Steeler fans just to go and listen to what these two dipshits had to say. And you're going to say on Twitter, you're going to put out a 20. I'm watching. I struck a chord with you people that you guys can't even take back because you guys can't hold my jock strap when it comes to film. When my film reviews get uploaded, they are detailed, oriented, objective point of views that I bring up with a player. When I bring up Justin Simmons, it's not cherry picking plays. It's a series of plays that have consistently shown that this guy fucking sucks. Go ahead.
DeMarcus Ware. Give me some DeMarcus Ware. Just give me a little DeMarcus Ware. Position.
Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. Chubb.
Outside linebacker.
Okay. Who did Elway get? I'm going to get back to Just Simmons just a second, but just this mentality. Because you said something about DJ Jones and whatnot. What did Talib say? About you got rid of the
dogs?
So is that why again, somebody like Chubb, who's obviously, one of the better linebackers we had since Von Miller, Gervais and all these other guys, why is it that these kind of people get shit on all the time?
Don't forget about Baron Browning moving him outside. Baron Browning was the best coverage linebacker we've had since Danny Trevathan and Brandon Marshall. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just saying this. Okay, I'm trying to make a point of mismanagement. Okay, when Justin Simmons was given this money, the sports writers who can't get enough of him, he was like ranked, I don't know what it was, 48th. I mean, it wasn't even close to even come near that money. Okay, this is your stat, Wano. You lying.
You're a lying sack of shit. You're a lying sack of shit.
I mean, I know. Oh, I know. Chris Joe, DJ Joe, he only played
12 games.
Lie. Okay, 17. Oh, let me get rid of that. I'll get into all these comments getting shadow banned in a minute. So what is the what do the sports writers have to do when they do the Justin Simmons got all this money? They say, quote, the stats don't justify it, but don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to that. Just don't look at that. Don't let your lying eyes tell you why he's ranked so low. So there's a press conference with Peyton, Fangio, and Peyton reads the John Elway script. Why we're paying Simmons all this money. Simmons. Why we're paying this guy all this money. And then Fangio gets up there and reads the script. Yeah, he's good off field. He's a really good off field. Then he puts the script down and he says right to the camera, this guy's got to get better. Don't worry, we got rid of him. We brought in the guy that's Justin Simmons, top 5. No, you're the best. Come on. Whoa. Okay, we'll see how this season goes there, happy-go-lucky. We'll see how this season goes, and we'll see how that Vance Joseph 2.0 stuff works out for you. Whatever his name is, Mr. Elway, yeah, I got the call. Throw it 50 times. Yeah, I'm waiting for it. So between getting rid of the dogs and what does he get? He gets his players. He's got the whole front office. Oh yeah, this is the best. Let's get the PR machine. We got 2 guys out there. We wouldn't even be having this conversation if he was in the same universe as these other people. It wouldn't even be a topic. And to find out that, you know, we have to just keep hearing Justin Simmons, and that's fine. He's going to definitely be in the microscope like he was last season, where we showed. I have it on my channel every game. I highlighted where he was nowhere to be seen.
I highlighted him before he got the contract, and I warned people, don't pay him. Don't pay him. There's other better safeties out there. You were bringing up Jesse Bates too.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I've been bringing up Derwin James and Mika Fitzpatrick for years.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't have those fucking players, but you can have locked on Broncos who say, and you know what? I'm sick and tired of these sports writers having to tell me that, you send your little fucking trolls out there. You want to talk about shadow banning. You know what? I'm so sick. I'm to the point where I'm going to disable comments and just not give a shit, because my films speak for itself. I am the pioneer of this Justin Simmons microscope right now, because I am pointing out the hypocritical fucking bullshit that I have to hear from these 8 platforms. Oh, let's get them on. Let's get them on. Let's get it on. Cole's Film Sessions is exposed.
That's fine. I think that's great. I'm glad they got him on, because guess what? This season's coming. It's coming. And it doesn't matter what you say, Justin. It doesn't matter what your buddies say. It doesn't matter what John Elway says. It's coming. Just like it did last year. They know. They know where to go. They did last year. They knew where to go.
And
coming.
That stat that this man put up a few moments ago when he talked about 48, that's past defense. That's past breakups. 48 in 2020, and then you pay him the fucking money load?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You got rid of Von Miller, a generational fucking superstar, for this fucking dipshit and Justin Simmons, when I have to hear from behind-the-scenes Broncos, oh my God, I've been used to all this fucking losing. Now we got Russell Wilson. We're going to win the Super Bowl. You are going to put all the onus on Russell Wilson, and then me and this guy are going to have to come on here and defend him, just like with Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, Case Keenum, Trevor Siemian, Joe Flacco, all the fucking bullshit. This is the worst PR team I've seen in fucking decades. This is the worst. This year is the worst just because we got Russell Wilson. I'm so sick of this fucking bullshit. I show film after film after film after film after film of these players that fucking John Elway goes after, the guy that doesn't exist, and they said, let's ride. What's up, boss? All this fucking bullshit that me and you've exposed time after time after time after time. They don't go after a Creed Humphrey, a fucking an Austin Beeline. God damn it! It just pisses me off.
Yeah, I know you're players. I know you're pissed off. I'm not calling Justin Simmons a dipshit. I'm not going there, but
I don't care. I don't care. He doesn't deserve the money that he got. What the fuck did he do to get that money?
I'm not gonna personally attack the guy, but what I am going to do is expose. He's just not a good player. He's just not a good player. I'm just that's my take. He's not a good player. He's going to be exposed yet again in the season. And it is what it is. Like I said, we're not the only ones looking at film. 31 other teams are. And all they have to do is look last year where did everybody go? They went right his way. And Fangio had to put Browning in the middle, put Kenny Young in the middle to shore it up. They got rid of that. So we were going to be, this is, like I said, you saw it in OTAs. This is a team that's going to be begged to be thrown on. Just the bottom line. The future is it's not sustainable. So you're just going to have to wait it out. You're going to have to wait it out. We'll be doing film. We'll be showing it. Here it is. All you people that were being objective, here it is. All those people that couldn't see Jesse Bates, now they fucking worship him. And they didn't say it was because of Joe Burrow, by the way, at all. Just so you know. They said he's one of the reasons for Joe Burrow's success. Just say it. But, you know, when you're paid, then that's what your job is. You're paid to write what you're told to write. That's what you get. We're not paid. We're just telling it like it is. And believe me, if Justin Simmons was even half the player, he's not, you probably wouldn't even hear that much about it from us. But it's pretty bad. And the film shows it. He's picked on by all the other teams in the NFL, and we're just not going to ignore that. You're not the Avalanche. You're not even in the same universe. You don't have the player personnel. It's like, to me, this team's more like the Rockies, who got Kershaw. You got Kershaw, so we're going to go to the World Series. No, you're not, because you got all these other problems.
You know, and it's really funny. You know, I'm sorry for calling Justin Simmons a dipshit. I didn't mean it. It's more of the on-field play, which is so glaringly obvious that people, you know, it's always the John Elway players that get a pass. It's always the John Elway players that he's drafted over the years or he's paid all of this money to. It frustrates the hell out of me, because this is exactly that rant I did is exactly how I was when we passed up on guys like an Ashawn Robinson, a Billy Al Nichols, an Eddie Goldman, who's still out there, and then a Sheldon Joseph Day. It blows my mind that we can't go get real NFL players. And then once we get DJ Jones, you don't hear a bleep out of him, but you draft Greg Dulcich, and he's the top 5 fucking tight end, and he's going to have a better rookie year than Travis Kelce, according to an online fucking platform. But again, I do apologize. I didn't mean to say that Justin Simmons is a dipshit. So Justin Simmons, you come across, it's nothing personal. It's more me critiquing your play, and I just don't think you're very good. But again, my film sessions, again, speak for themselves. I have these people also saying that, oh, show me highlights, and they send me links to these it's called film, but it's highlight reels. Literally, it's highlight reels of a guy that's showing highlight reels 2019, 2020. Wow, look at these highlight reels against the Redskins, the Lions, the Dolphins. Oh my God. Like, it's like Draymond.
The Jets. That was this big game, was the Jets.
Yeah. The Eagles, too, when he got that floater, it's right there, just dropped in the breadbasket.
He's like a cow out in the pasture. You moo. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Zach Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you bring up neutralizing up the middle of the field, do you understand what that means?
They don't know what that means. They got to listen to 8 other channels to assure them, oh, that's what's going on. Okay, well, take a look last year. That was exactly the opposite that happened.
I said, and you got rid of TJ Ward for Justin Simmons. That's what
TJ Ward. That's it. TJ Ward.
It's really funny.
I mean, here, wait a second. To put those two in the same category, that's blasphemous right there.
TJ Ward was a difference maker, and to me, he was the heartbeat of that defense. He was the guy that would get everyone routed. He was the guy that he would come down on he was Derwin James before Derwin James arrived. That was what Derwin James.
They have forgot all this. So what they do, they wait for. They're looking at it and they're all confused. The last year was, season. They're all confused. All they know is quarterback because they can't talk about anything else. Quarterbacks, receivers, and edges. They're totally confused. And then they wait for the sports writers to tell, okay, what is it I need to know? Oh, okay. Oh, they forgot what a TJ Ward brings, how he plays, what those fans. We're the last of those fans. We're the last of those fans. These fans that you really call them, they're not fans, they're cheerleaders. Kool-Aid drinking cheerleaders.
Yep.
We're the last. You know, I guess they're right. Maybe, yeah, we're stuck in the past, but we know the future. We know where the team has to go.
It's not that we're stuck in the past. We know what real player personnel looks like. That's what they don't understand. Oh, you guys live in the past. That model that Pat Bowlen and Wade Phillips and Adam fucking Peters did for this organization, that model is still used today. Look at the Rams. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even look at the Kansas City Chiefs with the Chris Jones in the middle of that defense and all the coverage linebackers that they have and a Justin Reed they brought over.
Push up the middle. Yeah. All this stuff, that guy up in the front office, this all means nothing to him.
Yep.
It never meant nothing to him ever. It never meant anything to him. You know, I'll just get names. It's my guy. It's my guy. He's mine. He's the guy okay. That's what the owners got to get rid of.
Yes.
Once the owners get rid of that, then we can start talking about moving forward. Right now, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating for us who, like I said, we understand what a TJ Ward, and to compare him to Justin. Oh, I can't wait till they do that.
Well, let's just say this. You know what? Russell Wilson, again, he can't say what he truly believes, and he watched the exact same stuff we watched. I guarantee he looked at that defense, and he's like, just really? I guarantee, because I watched all 17 games this past year over and over and over and over again. And it's against the Jaguars. You know what? Draymond Jones can have his little party against the Lions, but Justin Simmons against the Jaguars, I showed film of that, him and Draymond Jones. If they can't do that against the Jacksonville Jaguars, what in the hell makes you think that when we go to London, when we face the Colts with that offensive defensive line, the 49ers, the Raiders, oh, we're going to beat the Raiders, right? The Raiders are trash. Okay. That's why
we heard it last year. We heard that last year.
Yep, go ahead.
So anyway, I wasn't quite ready, but yeah, they can't beat this. Go ahead with your thing. I'm gonna.
Well,
I want to.
I thought you're ready. My apologies. But anyway, you know, it's the same shit for the past 6 to 7 years where you get rid of a Kenny Young and then you bring in a worse player in Alex Singleton. You have
we haven't even got to that yet. I know. Yes, Singleton and Josie Jewell. I mean, it's just too much of this stuff.
How in the hell can people sit there with a straight face, and the people that watch film on a consistent basis sees the limitations that these two bring? This is going to be worse than Alexander Johnson and Josie. This is going to be worse.
Yeah.
Okay? You had Baron Browning at the right position, not fucking outside linebacker. Okay? I don't know how many times I have to explain it to these people. He was better as a inside linebacker. We fucking know this. That's why Fangio put him there.
Well,
that's where he thrived at. And then they bring in Kenny Young, helped out. You know, it's so glaringly fucking bad. And you think DJ Jones is going to elevate a fucking Mike Purcell and Draymond Jones? Oh my God. Do you guys not realize that every time I watch film on Draymond Jones, you know what's funny? Every time I watch film on Draymond Jones, and you guys are saying that, oh, he needs to get paid. The person that needed to get paid was fucking DJ Jones, because he's actually getting that push and he's not getting pushed back all the way.
Yeah. When you see him, it's like watching it's Tale of Two Cities. Yeah. Draymond here.
Oh, well, you're just showing highlight reels of him being bad. Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what? It's interesting. I told you these people don't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
You show a series and a series and a series and a series, and then they're like, you're just showing him in the bad light. It's like, no, you're seeing who he is. You're seeing series after series. But the problem is your sports writers, they're just saying exactly. Don't look at that. Don't. No, it's wrong. Don't look at. It's just wrong. Don't trust your blind eyes. Just like when they gave Justin Simmons all that money, they said, don't. Oh, you're writing. Oh, don't. Whatever you do, don't look into that. Just trust us. You can put them all over the place. Yeah, and he gets burned all over the place.
Why?
Go ahead.
Again, sorry to interrupt you. Why do you think that Fangio wanted Adrian Amos so badly in his first year?
And make up for what Justin Simmons couldn't do.
Because when you think about it, you really think Russell Wilson again.
I wonder if they were going to just let him walk and try to get Amos.
Well, I mean, he was still under his rookie contract at the time, so but he had 1 year left on that. So I've been okay bringing Adrian Amos. Kind of give him a 3-year, 4-year deal. Then we can let Justin Simmons walk after that. That should have been the route they should have done. I'm a big Adrian Amos fan.
Well, we know that Fangio wanted to go with he wanted to get Adrian Amos, but somebody said,
no.
Now,
and again, you think that Russell Wilson is going to bring the ships up from the fucking, from the oceans, raise all ships?
Okay, I want to talk about Russell Wilson a second and John Elway. This is the crux of this whole video. I guarantee you, I will make a wager with anybody. This is what the fly on the wall heard. When after the press conference was over in Denver, Russell Wilson went back into John Elway's office. Okay. And sit down. I want to talk to you, Russ. This is why I got to get off. I got to let you know. This season is crucial. If you guys make it to the playoffs, that's absolutely wonderful. That's great. Super Bowl, couldn't ask for anything better than that. But if you can't do that, you got to give me 9, Russ. You got to give me 9. I need 9. You got to give me 9. If I'm going to pull this off, I got to have 9. And that's 9 wins. And I guarantee you that if somehow, some miracle, this team gets 9 wins, you'd think they won the Super Bowl. I mean, that these writers, well, that's it. We were never said anything about Super Bowl. No, you did. You just said it not too long ago. You're going to be here for a Super Bowl. When they drafted Russell Wilson, you people said 5 Super Bowls, 3 to 5, just to be fair. And then you started backtracking. Funny, when OTA started, you all started back. Then it's we're taking the next step. It's the next step. But this is how I see it. When reality sets in and you're like the Rockies, who happen to get Kershaw for whatever reason, and you can't make it to the playoffs, or it's a one-and-done situation, you won your 9 games, it's not going to be sustainable. And then it's going to come a time where there's no way around it. It's not sustainable. And then you found out you gave all your draft capital away. You gave the farm away. Okay? Because all you people who feel entitled, you can't develop anybody, especially a quarterback. And all the people that you say around the league that say they don't like our stuff, which is completely wrong. It's diametrically wrong. We had Bills fans here, I think it was 2 seasons ago, saying you guys can't, you toxic Bronco fans out there, you can't develop anybody. Josh Allen would have been trashed. Everybody came and said that. And it wasn't just Bills fan. Everybody knows you guys.
Well, you just recently had Seahawks fans, and where were all the Bronco fans coming to argue because you guys can't argue.
Yeah, the Seahawks fans came and said, yeah, this is very objective on both sides.
And I did film review on Russell Wilson. Oh, you're not Kurt Warner. No. Kurt Warner was bringing up the exact same stuff I was bringing up in my film reviews. He was bringing up the good of Russell Wilson, but also there are some limitations that you need to look out for this offseason. And I brought them up in my film review. And again, I don't want to be Kurt Warner. I want to be my own person. And I look at things in a much more detailed-oriented way. And to be perfectly honest with you, is Russell Wilson an upgrade? Yes, but the team around him is not sustainable to help him as any other quarterback in the National Football League, help him get him to that next level. You think Keyshawn Johnson said it best. These receivers aren't proven. They think they are. That's why they paid him $85 combined million to two guys that haven't done jack.
It's funny. Who was saying that? Yep. Who was saying that? We realized Cortland Sutton had an injury, but I want to go back to something you said, and that kind of like I was like a deer in the headlights here. Sorry.
You're okay.
You were talking about Russell Wilson watching film. What did he do? What was the first thing Wilson did when he watched film? What was the very first thing he did when he watched the Denver Broncos film?
Well, he took the. Well, are you talking about?
I'll tell you. He demanded that his receivers meet him because he had a lot to talk to them about. Who didn't see that coming? Then he's got to look at this offensive line and like, man, whoa. If I don't get Russell Wilson has to realize he's going to have to get the ball out quick. I mean, he just has to.
Well, I showed film of the Broncos offensive line compared to the Seahawks offensive line. It's diametrically different. I mean, you have this Seahawks offensive line and a more consistent light than the Denver Broncos offensive line. I don't understand. You know what? And we were talking about this off air. It's more of a chronicle if you think about it. It's like, it's all, Russell Wilson didn't have the offensive line. But when you actually go back and watch the film,
I have to say this. When you did your Russell Wilson footage and you were talking about the O-line, we begged Seattle fans, look at our offensive line. And we had many Seattle fans say, whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, but okay. I mean, really,
to the toxic thing said it's good just like they have 6-7 years.
And this
it's
is
good enough.
Fine. You know what? And also
good enough.
Yeah, the Broncos offensive line is the best in Super Bowl 50.
Well, everybody else that's looking at it isn't seeing it that way. That's not in that toxic bubble.
Yep.
Everybody else, like I said, it's coming. I know,
last year too. Didn't you?
And the year before that.
And the year before that, you guys said, and I quote, okay, this is a quotation, that we were going to go to the playoffs with Teddy Bridgewater and we're going to get Aaron Rodgers and he's going to take us to the Super Bowl. Those were your exact words. Now, am I saying that for every Bronco fan? No. But I heard this from plenty of Denver Bronco fans.
Well, the 8 channels. The 8 channels put that out.
Yes, exactly. Exactly what this man
8
said.
platforms put that out.
Stop lying. And every time, you guys are doing it with Russell Wilson now, where if he doesn't get you 9 wins, he sucks. He was plan B all along. He couldn't raise the ships. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you this. You don't have the player personnel on offense or defense to sustain this, which this man is correct. You don't have the special teams. Well, we got a new coach. Oh, my God. Yes, coaching is a part of it, but the player personnel aspect of it is the bigger thing. You don't have an offensive line. You basically switched out a right tackle for another right tackle. You didn't. Oh, great! Trade talks for Quinn and Miners. I mean, what? It's so glaringly obvious that John Elway still runs this team. you wouldn't have paid Randy Gregory all that money. Well, we wanted Randy Gregory all along. No, you wanted Chandler Jones or Von Miller. Stop with the fucking line, Wanu. Oh, well, DJ Jones only played 12 games. No, he didn't, Wanu. He played 17.
Yeah, quit lying. It's like, I want to get into this now. We're and it's my fault. I was supposed to be on Bitchute years ago, and I got lazy and kept putting it off. Well, YouTube has motivated us because somehow we're getting shadow banned. And let me explain shadow ban. That means me and Colby can see our comments, but nobody else can. And I wrote a comment that immediately got shadow banned, and it said the Broncos were irritating, first of all, Seattle fans, which they were, and they wouldn't go toe-to-toe with them. They hid because that's what these toxic SOBs do. They hide. Steeler fans with the Mika Fitzpatrick, they couldn't leave them alone. Indianapolis Colt fans with this, don't bother, it's a win, just don't bother. The whole AFC West is already agitated. This is where you're toxic, people. You and your 8 channels, you just can't leave it alone. Justin Simmons, and believe me, when all this goes down, you think we're bad, everybody is going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. But just like we seen when the Seattle fans came to our channel saying, yeah, it's pretty objective. I see what you're saying. And I didn't hear, not one of you came to say that this is a shoe-in game. They were here to debate that with you, but you didn't come because you're cowards. And I just want to say, like, one of the biggest cowards we have is like a commenter called Ariana. You got banned because you're sitting there saying that I'm using 104.3 The Fan. You know it was 105 point The Fan in Dallas, where Dallas said the Dallas insider said John Elway's still running the team. You know it wasn't 104.3. You knew that all along, but you want to lie. And that's just what I want to get at. These minions, it's just lies. Everything's built on lies. That's what's got to get purged. Is all this lying and bullshitting that's going on. This organization was better than that. And to me, this is just going to be the dark history of the Broncos. It's worse than the AFL days. It just is. Player personnel wise. I mean, you can't have just this giant ego up there telling you that bad play is good play. Up is down and right is left and black is white. You can't, it's not sustainable. So ownership's going to see it. And they're going to say, why are you paying this? Why? I'm telling you, they're going to go back and take a look at how the money's been spent. That's the way it works in the real world. The guy who has to pull out the paycheck, he's going to take a look. When he sees the Metalik Watsons, he sees the Juwan James, the Simmons, all of it. They're going to ask, what the hell have you guys been doing? What is with this? I'm just saying, the guy upstairs, your days are numbered. You did a crap job. You're a great quarterback, hands down. Absolutely. But you did such a bad job stinking the joint up as an owner / head coach / GM, everything else under this, player of operations.
Which he still is.
Yeah, it's just not, it's not going to be sustainable with the guy who opens the paycheck, the checkbook. It's just, I don't know if these people, how long it's going to take them to get a clue on how to do this right, but what's going on now, it just isn't sustainable. It's just not.
And and when you have people, and this goes to your shadow banning point, when you have people coming on here and lying and saying, well, you're more positive about other teams. The reason why I'm more positive about other teams like the Chargers, like the Saints, like the Colts, and guys like their player personnel moves make sense. Like a Rashawn Slater, I had a commenter come on my Rashawn Slater video and said that, well, you seem more positive about your the AFC West opponents than your own team. Number one, Rashawn Slater, you could have had him. I was pounding the table for him. I wanted
He could
Rashawn,
have been a Bronco.
and he is considered a top 5 left tackle in his second year. And this guy was an all-pro caliber left tackle, just like Tristan Wirfs was coming out of Iowa.
All the holding and the horse collaring, and yeah, these people also don't want to admit Garrett Bowles' success has more to do with non-calls
Yep.
than his technique and everything else.
And we saw that play out again this past season when you also paid him top 10 left tackle money. It's the shelling out of money that, it's obvious that John Elway has a personal vendetta towards his own players. And in terms of a personal coddling for his own players. Oh, Justin Simmons, you're now the spokesperson. Von Miller, you went on 104.3 to Fan and just told Stokely to shove it. It's more than, yeah. And that's what we do here. We do not, and on my Film-Centric channel, I'm not going to blow sunshines and rainbows up your ass. If I see something on film that needs to be called out, I'm going to call it out. I'm a no. That's why me and him get along so well, because we don't put out fucking bullshit. We tell you like it is. If you don't like it, there's the door. Don't
let it hit you in the ass as you go.
Yeah, I don't want
the future. It's coming on, man. It is coming on.
Yeah, exactly. Just like this season will play out. You won't hear from him. That door will be shut, and hopefully the owner holds us and gets rid of this fucking media because it's so toxic. They're part of that toxicity from Dove Valley. Okay, the list goes on and on and on. But again, that's why I started following in this guy's footsteps, is because I understand his perspective on the Denver Broncos. We are going to Bitchute. It's the same. Mine is the same thing on Bitchute. He can explain his. But the reason why I'm going on Bitchute is because, number one, YouTube fucking sucks. Number two, I believe there'll be more objective fans on that than YouTube, because more of the reach out is hard to do on YouTube. Reach out on fucking Bitchute, you just got to keep uploading. But that being said, you hit the nail on the head, and you hit something close. You bring up the Seahawks fans. I had Seahawks fans come on my channel too, and I've had Seahawks fans subscribe, and I've had Steeler fans subscribe. I've had Bills fans subscribe, because it's not because I'm a fan of those teams. It's because I like the direction those teams are going. It makes sense. The Denver Broncos, it doesn't make sense. They make.
Well, depends on your definition of making sense. I mean,
definition of making sense.
In Denver Broncos, it makes sense because it's Elway centric.
Well, it's not. It's the player personnel centric moves that Elway puts forth for his organization. That's what I mean by making sense for those teams, and then the Denver Broncos.
Oh, you gave me a link. You had two sports guys. They just mentioned the draft, Broncos draft, and they're like, they got John Elway tapping this guy on the shoulder. He said, "Why'd you take the job?" That's what we said too.
Yep.
They said, "My God, why? If you can't do your job, if you can't be the GM, you got this guy, John Elway, tapping you on the shoulder. Why did you take the job?" So
Fangio, again, this is the same thing with Fangio. Why did you take the job ultimately?
Yes, we held Fangio accountable. I warned Fangio. I said, this is going to bite you in the ass.
And look, it did.
It did. So, this has got to play itself out. It's not sustainable. It's just not a healthy organization. It just isn't.
It's not a healthy organization. You have Nathaniel Hackett. Just, he doesn't have, a critical bone in his body. And then you have this coaching staff that is so flammable. This is why the Denver Broncos are one of the worst organizations in the NFL. It goes towards coaches too, and scouts. They get rid of scouts and coaches that are actually good at their job, like the running backs coach, Curtis Modkins. Oh, let's get rid of him. He'll go to Minnesota and thrive with Dalvin Cook up there with the play. I know.
Minnesota's saying, yeah, we'll take that guy. We'll take him.
Unchecked too, you get rid of a Hall of Fame offensive line coach when given proper say, he can get players. But
Come on. He wanted out. He didn't want to. He can't get the guys he wants.
I know. I know. I think the only players that he got was an Atay Moody and a Quentin Miners. I think that's about it. Those are the only two players that make sense for a Mike Munchak. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, because it's diametrically different than anything he did in Tennessee, just like Fangio was Chicago.
Well, they also bring up, and this is the whole thing about why I like what the Chiefs do, the Chargers do, even the Raiders too. They're getting their fucking act together. Yeah, they still have the fucking Raiders. They'll always be the fucking Raiders. But the Chiefs, for example, what did they do after they got lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl? I wanted Creed Humphrey in the second fucking round. I was pounding the table for him. I wanted Creed Humphrey.
They get it.
They went Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, one of the best pass protecting guards in football.
They get it.
Creed Humphrey is already a top 6 center in the league. He's already in the top, almost in the top 5.
They get it. That's the difference. All Elway knows is edges. It's all he knows. Wow. Sit and spend all kinds of time justifying Justin Simmons.
You know what?
Just get good players.
I know. Yes, I understand. I love Russell Wilson. I like his work ethic. I like what he stands for. I like Russell Wilson. I think his game is good. But you don't have the supporting cast or organizational backing to help him. That's what I mean putting the cart in front of the horse. You don't have a stable, family-centric environment in Denver that Pat Bowlen instilled in this organization. And once John Elway got his hands on being the end-all, be-all, he destroyed everything about what Pat Bowlen stood for. He destroyed it.
I still have never gotten an explanation on this. I hear playoffs, I hear Super Bowl, I hear next step, I hear this, I hear that. How do you explain 6 losing seasons?
Yes.
No moves that really get you out of that, except for one, you say quarterback. Like I said, to me, this looks like the Rockies. Get rid of players or don't get players that make a difference. Yeah, you got Kershaw, but that's not going to, any baseball fan will laugh at you if you think he's going to get you to the World Series. There's been no explanation of how one position caused all this losing.
Well, okay, hold on. They will always bring up the quarterbacks, because the quarterbacks.
But they don't know anything else.
Hold on. If everything was so centered around a quarterback, let me bring up a guy that we just had in Drew Lock, who they seem to believe in Seattle, and they haven't went after Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo. You know why that is? Because they're actually building the team first before they get that quarterback.
Well, we heard Locke mention that he said with this organization, they've been running this same system. They're not going to be pulling out the rug from under me. So they're familiar with the system and what it needs to get to the next level. They're familiar with it.
Well, he's more comfortable.
Now, this is what I also need to ask these Kool-Aid drinkers. How is it that you think you're going to a Super Bowl or going to go deep in the playoffs? How is that possible when you go through coaching staffs every few years, you don't get the kind of players you need to fix the problems that you have, like being attacked in the middle constantly? But you got sports writers that'll say Justin Simmons locking it down, yet he didn't. And you're going to get attacked like you did last year in the same spots. It's not going away. I just don't. Your special teams, what'd you do to help that out?
Wow, kick returner in the 5th round that everyone said we could have got as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah. So I see this team's made the same mistakes because the same guys running the show. So you're going to have to learn the hard way. You're going to have to learn. What we've been saying is right. Again, 6 seasons in a row. That's why I think it's funny, too. We're always just so wrong. You just don't know what we're talking about. But every season, we seem to be right. There goes the subscriptions. No, I can't. No. I'm not going to confront them. Crickets. All these people that show up now, they disappear.
Russell Wilson, because it's worse because they got Russell Wilson.
And that's all they know. They just know quarterbacks.
Well, you bring up the 6 years. You know, it's so funny to me that, you know, you're bringing players from a 4-3 defense. Randy Gregory, who is a 5 tech and a 4-3 with his hand in the dirt. We all fucking know this. I did film on it. Where he doesn't fit. This is a 3-4 defense principle system. Yes, okay, well, DJ Jones played in a 4-3. But there are players that can play in a 4-3 defense, a la DJ Jones, that can play that 3-tech role on a defensive line. That's what I hope to God that's what he plays. But knowing this coaching staff, they're going to have the inmate run the asylum and be like, where do you want to play? You want to play on the edge? Okay, DJ Jones, go do it. Oh, Baron Brown, you want to go play safety? Go for it, man. Justin Simmons, you want to go play edge? Go for it. You're the best player on the team.
Yeah, just wander around. Just wander around.
It's blasphemous. Oh yeah, Justin Simmons had 8 interceptions this past year. Lie.
Yeah.
Lie. It's
oh God.
It's
disclaimer. Justin Simmons did not have 8 interceptions.
I know.
I sent you a comment. He'll have 18 interceptions. Okay.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Breath on that one.
You know what? You know, and this is why people don't like me, and I don't really care, because I struck a chord in Denver Broncos country that, quite frankly, you guys can't take back. The microscope on Justin Simmons, and I think me and you are pioneers in this. I am so happy that there's going to be such a big microscope on Justin Simmons that this year you will see what me and my partner have been talking about for 3 to 4 fucking years about this guy. And I hope to God.
Yeah, they're definitely going to see it. It's definitely coming.
It's coming. And I believe this man is just like he was last year. We are going to be right once again this year about how this team is going to perform, not just against the Seahawks. This is going to be you know what? And this is why Denver Bronco fans can't go at it with Seahawks fans, because they know deep down they know deep down that this game against Seattle is not going to be a blowout, as Sports Talk Radios is proclaiming right now.
They're objective.
Yeah, they're objective sports writers. Yeah,
air quotes, objective sports writing. Yeah. Well, we get paid. Yeah, you certainly get paid. Yeah, you certainly get paid to say what the things you say.
I don't get paid to do what I do. Okay, if you don't get paid to do what you do, then why is it that I do three film reviews of Justin Simmons, a total of 5, back to back to back, and then 2 to 3 weeks later, Justin Simmons is the best safety in the AFC West because he is reliable. You know, that's all I get from Denver. Well, he doesn't get injured.
Well, I can tell you why. I told you. I can show you on film why he doesn't get injured.
He's all the way, you know, I live in Oklahoma. He's all the way in fucking Arkansas.
Yeah, he's in Arkansas chewing on the grass. He's in the middle of nowhere, not engaging. Yeah, he's got staying power. It's kind of hard to get injured when you don't really participate in the play. So, except being late, I guess, running. I mean, he should be the healthiest guy. I mean, he's like a soccer player out there running around.
Well, again, that brings up, you were bringing up the Eagles play. It was against the Raiders where Foster Monroe beat him over the middle. It's so glaringly bad. Like, now we got Alex Singleton. We got Josie Jewell back. Oh, that's going to neutralize the middle.
But we haven't even got into that yet either, too, because it's this old stupid Justin Simmons thing to get into those two guys.
Oh, well, Justin Simmons helps the players around him.
How?
How?
By not getting involved? By being a cow out in the pasture?
Why was it against the Fires, the Jaguars, the Ravens, the Eagles, just to name 3 games? Why is it that their success was going to beat over Patrick Surtain over the top? Nothing against Patrick Surtain, but they went towards the field where Justin Simmons was.
Because they know he's not going to get help over the top. They know it.
And then every time he drops down, I have people, he did it right. He did it right. That's what a linebacker's supposed to do, shoot up. I'm like, no, a linebacker, if you're coming down in the box, your safety's responsible. I showed it with Bates. I showed it with Marcus Williams. I showed it with Mika. when they drop down to the
Who
middle,
are really top of their class, right?
yeah, who are really, and Derwin James, who are really top players at their positions.
Yeah.
The reason they drop down because their main responsibility is to neutralize their part of the field that they're covering. That's why coverage linebackers are so essential in the National Football League, because everything is predicated in the middle of the field. That's why Isaiah Simmons was drafted so high that he was. Zaven Collins, a Devin Bush, a Miles Jack, guys like that can neutralize. Fred Warner, who's the best coverage linebacker in the league. They get it. They understand coverage.
They do. These fans have no concept whatsoever. Zero. Because you know why? The sports writers, they're double edges. Oh, what, John? What, John? Oh, edge quarterback. Okay.
You know, it's laughable because you were saying that. Oh, just wait. They're going to say that the Denver Broncos are going to be the Avalanche this year. And the next day, DNVR, are the Denver Broncos the next Avalanche this year?
No.
Oh, yeah, you guys are so objective.
No, that also is blasphemous. That's blasphemous.
No, because the Avalanche did it the right way. They didn't go out.
Look, yes, everything that they did and how they're developed the team, of course. That's what we're trying to get the Denver Broncos. Once this ownership finally purges this dysfunction out of here, then maybe that's the next step, really. That's the real next step. All right. Geez. Bitchute channels. I don't know. You're ready for another day of hate?
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm just to the point now with my film sessions going forward. Your comments are ridiculous. I'm going to remove them. I'm not dealing with people's bullshit anymore. My film reviews are for the other people that actually get football and actually understand, hey, you know what? This player actually makes sense. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and check out our Bitchute channels. If you want to actually leave a comment and not worry about YouTube.
Yes.
Sign up for Bitchute. You can leave your comments unless you're Wano or Ariel who want to lie and give false information, and we're not going to put up with that. If you got something constructive, come here. Check out comments. Matter of fact, if you want to see our comments that don't get deleted by YouTube, come check us out. Or shadow ban, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, what do you got? Anything else?
That's it for me.
That's all my ranting for today.
Cool beans.
All right, so I'll leave the links for the Bitchute channels. That's Hard Liquor Broncos.
Yep.
You want Colby? Well, I'm Chop Liver. Hi, everybody, I'm Chop Liver. You want Colby? Well, this is what you get, a little bit of meat with hard liquor. All right.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.